Hey, man. So the militia, fighting farmers and A-tacti-countants, right? I mean, that's what the militia is every day, man. And early, in the early years, it was all fighting farmers, men who spent most of their time farming and homesteading and providing. But these days, it could be an A-tacti-countant too, right? Um, I'm pretty proud of that phrase. I'm pretty sure it's original to me, an A-tacti-countant. Uh, but this dictates certain realities, and I'm no expert. I'm not an expert. I'm talking. I hate this phrase, furthering the conversation. It sounds like something a lib would say. If we're just talking about it, we're solving the problem. Unfortunately, I don't know what else to do but talk about it at this point. So I'm talking about it. Someone left a comment recently, and it wasn't a bad comment, and I see where the guy's coming from. He probably was not thinking when he made the comment from the standpoint of the militia, but I think he made the comment on a militia video. So I'm going to pretend like he did. And his comment was, well, I'm going to be a long-range sniper. He didn't say that. He had his hunting rifle with some crazy round and a crazy scope, and he was going to sit back at 1,200 yards and take on all comers, which sounds great. I mean, it really does sound like standoff is a beautiful thing. I'm a tow gunner. We loved standoff. But the reality of being a fighting farmer and an A-tacti-countant is that you have to spend the majority of your life building things that you are in then turn going to protect. Being a long-range sniper takes almost total dedication and a mental skill set that very few men possess. Real snipers are a special breed of men, a very special breed of men. I doubt many of us have what it takes to actually be a long-range sniper. So, and even if you are that rare individual that has the mental skill set to have the time and the resources to invest in that isn't realistic for most of us, and that goes for a lot of these tactical whiz bang things. I'm going to train in Krav Maga and SEAL Team 6, and I've got my MP5, and the vast majority of us, for us to be effective, it's going to be volume of fire out of a simple semi-automatic rifle. We don't have the time to invest in all this stuff. Someone left a comment that his choice, I think his choice was for favorite round was the Mark 12 RV. I had to go look up what that was. It turns out it's a nuclear weapon. Obviously he's being tongue-in-cheek, but that's kind of the thinking I see from some guys sometimes. I'm gonna, I'm gonna embody the spirit of Bruce Lee and encompass the training techniques of the Israeli Special Forces. And no, you're not. We got to be a little bit more realistic than that. We're going to be training once a month tops. Most of us, we got families and jobs and hobbies and church and all this stuff that the reason why we have a militia, it would be pointless to sacrifice everything and we're just not going to train like to that degree. We're talking about simple weapons, simple gear, simple techniques. And you have to, I shouldn't say you have to, again, this is all theory, this is all things swirling around in my diseased little mind. It has to fit into, the militia has to be supported by a vibrant, maybe not a vibrant culture, but it has to be supported by a culture. And that culture, in order for the militia to exist, there has to be a group of men who are bound to something and invest in it and want the militia to help them protect and preserve that freedom and that prosperity they've built. And so to that end, your whole life can't be invested in training, and wouldn't. I mean, you wouldn't do it anyway. If you were going to do that, you'd be in the military, you'd be in some police force somewhere. You've chosen a life outside of 100% tactical dedication. So we have got to accept in our and our thought processes that we're foot soldiers. We are basic riflemen, and that's where we will be most effective. You know, we're not going to be firing our Mark 12 RVs. We're not going to be, you know, taking those 1,200 round shots. We're going to be doing a little reconnaissance by fire. What's out there? I don't know. You laugh, and I'm going to get some angry comments. I would never. That's irresponsible. But, you know, let's stop acting like it's a video game, you know, and it's all perfect and whatnot. You know, the truth of the matter is the militia is never going to be the shock troop, the you know, the Marine Corps, the SEALs. You know, they're always going to be that secondary force. You know, we used to make fun of the National Guard all the time and call them the dirty girls and everything. And occasionally the National Guard guys would come up and train with us every once in a while. And you know, it was always a big joke. You know, and we were all taking bets to see when they'd fall out of the run and everything. But the truth of the matter is, these guys have real lives, and they've got to find a place to fit that into a day job and a day life. You know, it wasn't like us in the Marine Corps where, you know, we were pampered in a way in that we were allowed to train all day long. Our lives were dedicated to training. We didn't have any other responsibilities but to be hard and strong and fast. And we were, but we could be, you know. And that's not going to be the case for the Fightin farmers and the A-tacti-countants. We have got to pick a few skill sets, and we have got to focus on them. And we've got to be a little bit realistic in what we can and can't do. I'm not saying don't, you know, if your hobby is long range shooting, that's fantastic. I'm not saying don't aim for that. That would be a great skill set to have. My point is, let's be a little realistic, though. You know, how do you even evaluate if you're any good at that? Most of us don't have access to those kind of ranges. That kind of equipment and setup is really expensive. The real snipers will shoot bullets that are hand-tuned to their individual rifle. They'll get boxes of 50 bullets, and each bullet is serialized. And, like, they track each shot, and they turn that information back into the people who hand-make their bullets, you know? And then they look at all that shooting data, and they use it to tweak the next 50 bullets they hand-make for that sniper. A real sniper is an amazing thing, just awe-inspiring. So there you go. I know we all want to be cool. We all want to be SEAL Team 6. We all want to wear tight T-shirts and have flaming skull tattoos and shaved heads. But most of us have jobs and homesteads and families, and we struggle to even do 20 push-ups a night. Be honest. Be honest. How many of us do 20 push-ups a night? I don't. I used to. I've gotten out of the habit. I tweaked, and here we go. This is the example. I tweaked my back at work, and I needed to let my back heal up, and so I quit doing push-ups while my back, you know, was just, it wasn't a bad thing, but it was hurting. And so I probably haven't done push-ups in 6 months, 7 months. Life just gets in the way sometimes. I don't know if, you know, like I said, some of you guys roll your eyes at me sometimes and say, why are you talking about this? Well, I'm talking about it because no one else in my sphere is talking about it. And I know now that I've started talking about it, I'm starting to run across some other guys who are as well. But it's important stuff, and we need experts to emerge. And I don't think there are any experts right now. I'm certainly not. And hopefully the more we talk about it, the more we'll get comfortable with the concept. Who knows, maybe one day enough of us talk about it. We're furthering the conversation. And something will start happening. Men, we appreciate you. Thank you.